Hi, I'm Christian Guzman, and I approve of the Board Shorts and Banter podcast.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to a very, very special episode of the Board Shorts and Banter podcast. I am joined today by the entire All In Bodybuilding team. So, yeah.
Does anyone want to do the honours first of all?
What?
Wants to crack the first beer?
I'll crack mine.
I think it's only right, actually. I believe.
I am the alcoholic.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy! I've been waiting for this since this morning. Oh, shit. You just
How's it going?
That's your deposit here.
Oh, that's disappointing.
that was
Disappointing.
nice.
There you go, mate. There you go.
I have got myself a Rattlers, is that what it's called?
Rattlers.
It's
So-
a Cornish rattler, mate.
A Rattler.
Josh has never
I
had.
don't like beer. I've never had a Rattlers.
Are we cheersing or have we already touched
Yeah,
it?
cheers.
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 Cheers. Happy birthday, Ollie.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't come up too late on it.
Cheers, Dom.
Cheers, everyone. Cheers, everyone.
Happy prep, bro. Are you worried that your coach is going to watch this or something?
Not at all. Not at all.
Martin's there, fuming.
Yeah.
Well, if he drinks.
First time trying, I don't know what it's gonna be like.
Go on, give us a verdict, and then we'll get into it.
Taste test.
It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
It's not as bad.
Here we
I
go.
thought it was gonna be really strong, but it's not awful, so
Cider, mate.
Take that.
Safe bet.
Basically, apple juice. Yeah, so it is All-In's first birthday. Well, technically it's not, but technically it is. But yeah, we're going to get into it. We've got Dan, introduce yourself.
I'm Dan, I'm the owner of All In. I have been ticking away at this now for probably a year, or properly a year. Competed in men's physique, done a little bit, some bobs here and there, but mainly at the minute, bit of bodybuilding and mainly All In from now on.
Yeah, boy. And then we are also joined by Josh Campbell and Dom Kirby, who you guys have already seen on the podcast because they are frigging legends. So yeah, Dan, first year of a legitimate business.
Yeah, the first full year. So, for anyone who doesn't know, All In is basically a brand that I've created to try and bridge the gap between like high quality wear that you wear out and about, your brands that represent Gymshark, represent Cole Buxton, Illicit Block, things like that. And essentially what I want to try and do is just bring a more premium feel, like all of those brands previously just said, into the bodybuilding space. The amount of people I've seen training are like 150 quid hoodies, 90 quid t-shirts, getting all sweaty. And that's kind of the mission there, to get that out of the market. I think that's definitely long overdue.
Yeah. It's because just streetwear in general, with how it fits, with like bodybuilders, it's like it's a good match. You know, so like to fill that gap.
fits.
I think also as well, like we're in a stage where a lot of like coaches now, there's multiple coaches you can name off the top of your head who have got 5-6 like figure businesses, and like they want to spend more on their clothes. They want to be like have not necessarily like a premium label behind them, but they want to have something that's higher quality and made with like that thought in mind, that more premium fabric, better designs, and just a more premium like approach as a whole. And I think that ties in again to those brands Cole Buxton represent, where people are just naturally drawn to those because they're the only ones on the market that really fit that need.
Yeah.
But again, with All In, it's the same fabrics, it's the same suppliers almost. Like it's everything that it could be, as close to that. It's just obviously.
Those brands as well, though, they don't necessarily like embody like a passionate message
Yeah.
for bodybuilding
Yeah.
for bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the gap is.
Yeah.
Like premium gym wear hasn't really been done before. And as someone who's like competed before, I'm in that circle, all my friends, etc. We all compete. Like it is the lifestyle that I've been in now for probably the past like 3-4 years. I think that essentially is kind of what's influenced it. Like I love bodybuilding, I love the sport. As much as I'm not the best bodybuilder at times, sat here with a Desperado in front of me. Like, I still have like a massive passion for it, and I think that's the main thing that drives it. Like, again, I want that industry to like level up. Like, I want other brands in the industry to be like, oh, if they're using more premium fabrics, we need to be doing it. And again, it's like encouraging like progression. I think that's the main thing as well. So, yeah, should
I
be.
think it's like 'cause people want to like walk out on the street and to be known as a bodybuilder. So if they can have like bodybuilding club on the back of their top, like whilst wearing something this quality, it's
It's
a
not,
no-brainer.
it's not even just that. I feel like a lot of like, there's been a lot of like brands that I've seen that are pretty cool, but like a lot of people that are bodybuilders that then try and make clothing, they're not as versed in it. They don't know about what makes a good label, and there's just something missing. It's usually the quality of clothing and whatnot.
It's like if I imagine there'll be a few people who like watch this who maybe like think about starting a brand or who have like that idea in their head. If that is something you want to do, like I cannot stress this enough. Like research. Like I did 2 years. Like I started the brand. Like I actually made the first designs in like 2021, 2020. I tried to do it. I made like 16 t-shirts, sold them all. And I made like £6 profit because I didn't count in for like any of the VAT or like So I kind of sat there and I was like, I'm not very fucking good at this. So that was kind of like why I sat and went, right, how do I get good at this? And at the time I was buying brands that represent, and that's when they really started to take off that kind of 2020 mark. And I was like, okay, what makes this brand actually good? Like, why do I like it? And I was like, okay, it's premium, like it's the fabric, it's the culture behind the brand, it's the mission, George Heaton, like people like that, they are the reason that people buy the brand. And I think as soon as I kind of realised that that was the area that needed the most work, I took pretty much 2 years of just like buying from these brands. And it sounds silly, but like I was almost buying from them just to sample them, like just to learn the fabrics they use, and the amount of time I spent on Google trying to work out whose supplier was whose and things like that. Like it was.
See, that's the thing that I'm like, because I even want to get some like clothing sorted for like just Josh Fit, like my brand, like for coach and stuff. And like, I don't know where to go to do this. So it's like to actually find someone to be able to provide like that quality is.
It's insane, and I think it's such a minefield as well. Like people will look at my brand, and I think this is like again meant in like the least egotistical way, but I think like you don't really understand it until you get your hands on it, until you feel it. Like it is different to everything else out there, and there's a lot of people now who are like trying to creep out of the woodwork and start competing in that market. But because I've already been researching it for 2 years, it's a big gap now.
You're playing catch up,
you're
bro.
playing catch up. I see you. I see all of you out there. You're playing fucking catch up. You are now. You are. And the gap's only going to get bigger. Like the gap is only going to get bigger. I have like a genuine passion for one, bodybuilding, but two, like fashion. Like,
shows through, mate.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and I think
like the way I've seen like All In grow, even since like I bought from it, and pretty much since you sponsored Josh, it's just been,
Shout out Josh. Me on me. No,
I think everyone plays their part. Like it's cool because it's meant for everyone. Like I feel like you'll see in this campaign that we like put out for this collection, like All In is not just meant for the people who are at the top of the sport or people chasing down pro cards or like people who've already won pro cards. Like it's meant for every demographic in the sport. And again with Josh's audience, again with like everyone's audience, like it's all kind of a little bit different. We've got people from the top of the sport all the way down to just starting out in bodybuilding, and that's exactly what I wanted it to be when it set out. Like we're not saying that you've got to be a big 250 pound, 300 pound bodybuilder to be putting these clothes on. Like you can be anyone.
I'm the one who's just starting out, by the way.
Yeah, Dom is quite clearly our first time competitor on the team. Jesus.
He only found out what bodybuilding was last week. We've roped him into a prep in a couple of days, but he's he'll be fine. He'll find his own.
Amazing. Well, you basically covered half of the things that I was going to ask you, but
Sorry, bro.
how did where did the name All In, like how did the brand actually become a thing, like back in, what were it, 2021?
Yeah, so I moved it was lockdown. I moved to the Netherlands, and I had a girlfriend at the time who was like really into fashion. Like she went to fashion school, she studied fashion, she studied design, and I spent a lot of time like around her and her friends when I moved over there. And I think, to be honest, a lot of it came from her. Like I never really thought about clothes as like a premium thing, or like something you could even have an interest in up until I met her. And I was introduced to lots of Dutch brands and all of these other kind of like demographics and markets and people who like I'd never really been exposed to before. And then I kind of realised, okay, there's like a market for this. Like this is what people care about this stuff. Represent obviously started booming at that point, and I had the idea. And I think All In itself, I feel like it is the perfect term to describe like that bodybuilding mentality. Like you can't do this if you're like half measured or you're not fully invested. You're not all into the sport. You have to be 100% at it, and those who aren't, it shows. It really does, and those who are, and who can like drive the sport and lead it and place well at all these regional shows and go on to win pro cards and all the way up to the Olympia level, like these aren't people who are like halfway into a situation, that they're fully into it, and I think that's what, full time, not part time, so, and that's where that all in mentality, the all in kind of idea came from. I initially like branded my coaching as it was like all in coaching. And then I ran that for like 6 months and I was like, this isn't the right identity. And I
was literally about to say this. This is like it's more than just like putting out nice clothes. Like it's almost creating a brand cult and identity that like
a movement.
You know, a movement that people like want to be a part of. You know,
that's.
And I already, even in this like, it's in its infancy in my opinion, but it's already like starting to form that.
I think when people who shop all in, like it seems to me anyways, obviously I'm not like at ground level, I can't hear what people are saying about the brand or whatever, but no one's going to bitch and moan about it to me. But I think like for the majority of people, like when you do see someone else wearing it in the gym, there is almost that mutual respect of like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, they train well.
It's
more kind of niche right now because it's like the people that are kind of here to see it now, or they're very much involved within the bodybuilding industry. So everyone trains you well. You know, if someone's wearing all and they're going to be training well, they're going to be getting after it. But over time, obviously, as it becomes more popular, they'll start to branch out and it's trying to push that message to the people that are possibly a little bit like less experienced and stuff.
I feel like it's like when you see someone that wears like Represent, for instance, right? As an example, it's like you can buy a baggy jumper anywhere, but if you're buying a Represent baggy jumper, it's like, you know, it's going to be quality. That person clearly cares about what they look like, the quality of their clothes. They hold themselves to a good standard, and it's like if you're in the gym and you're wearing something like All In, which
same kind of
carries a better message in my opinion than Represent, but it's got the same, exactly the same, or even sometimes even in my opinion better quality.
We're getting there.
It's you know, it screams that same message, but it's got a lot more of that bodybuilding cult behind it, which I think is just like what that was missing.
I think someone at the first expo that I did, we did the PCA expo in October last year. Someone came up to me and they asked me what the mission of my brand was, and I didn't actually have an answer. Like it was very on the spot that this girl just randomly came up to me. She was asking me loads of random questions, and then she was like, "What's actually the mission?" And I kind of didn't really have it at that point. I was just kind of going through the months, month by month, and surviving. And I think that now that we're kind of coming up on that like 1 year, and I can really kind of understand like who's behind the brand and like where we're planning to go and all of these things in between. Like the mission isn't necessarily like be a big bodybuilder or be great at bodybuilding. It's more just about like your mentality into what you do in a day-to-day life. Like we want to support people who are like actually trying to pursue something. For years I kind of like coasted, I think, and I think that for me is like, okay, I can now see that if I fully apply myself to something, bearing in mind this is only a year old, like if I fully apply myself to something, it has unlimited potential. Like, and I think that is the kind of main message that I want to be behind the brand is like, if you really are all in on anything, a job, school, training, like your nutrition, whatever it may be, running a 10K, like there is that carryover of you will succeed in it, and that is definitely the message and the mission from now on.
I've always seen bodybuilding as like a transferable skill for everything.
Oh, 100%.
And it's like the All In as a brand is like it's that transferable energy and transferable like, you know, standard that you just apply to every aspect of your life.
Same with like you all know as well, like when you coach someone, like it's not just the physique transformation, like it goes to every aspect of their life, with whether they're in uni and whether they actually start to do like well in their exams now because they've got more structure to their life. They hold themselves to a higher standard. It goes towards everything, doesn't it? So
I know you made a joke saying like you're not all in on bodybuilding at the moment, but you spent a year or more being all in on all in, and that's why it's got like to where it is. So
you can't play like both sides of the fence. I think like again, same with bodybuilding. Like if you really want to be good at this, you can't be good at bodybuilding. You can't be good at drinking. Like they don't go hand in hand. Apparently they don't.
I've never been good at drinking. Always been terrible.
You can't play both sides of the fence. Like if you really want to succeed in something, it has to be that 100% mentality. And there is like no success without it. That's a fucking one of the collections. Like no success without sacrifice. Like as cheesy as it sounds, it's so true. You will never amount. Like it will never amount. Whatever you're working towards anything, unless there is that element of sacrifice and that dedication and like determination towards it. And I think, again, as much as I haven't been a great bodybuilder for the past year, I think that
Still a British champion, mate.
yeah, I think it still transfers. Like it transfers into seasons of my life, and that definitely is like one of the last year has definitely been towards my career and obviously building this brand because it's been a dream for a very long
For
time.
you as well, though, mate, it allows you to put your like lessons out there and your message out there. You know, like for instance, what you're saying, no success without sacrifice. Like being able to like embody that into even like an artistic form in clothes, and then have other people like rep that message is it's sick.
I've always been like, I've always like, I feel like not forced into like trying to force myself into fitness, but like I've always tried to work out like where I stand in the industry, and I feel like for a long time I was like pretending that I'm this informative coach, like who's a great example, AJ Morris, like writes these really in-depth detailed captions, Kuba, like someone who really understands training and that like philosophy and is a die-hard bodybuilder, like that is their passion. And like if I'm completely honest, like bodybuilding isn't my number one passion, it's number two, a very close number two, but like I've now kind of found my gap, I feel, and my like spot in this market as like someone who drives this brand forward and someone who is like the lead of this brand. And I think that's something that I definitely need to kind of work on over the next 6 months, a year, 2 years, is really building that like personal brand up of like, this is actually who I am. I'm not this coach who pretends to know loads of stuff. Like I know a little bit, but like this coach who knows loads of things and this, that and the other. Like I'm creative, and like that is definitely like an identity crisis for a long time. Like I've always said to people, I'm not creative, I'm not this, I'm not that. But I think as this goes on and as I get more into it, I kind of have to just accept that is probably who I am and what I'm going to be doing for the next few years at least.
Yeah, definitely. So over the last year then, what has been your biggest standout moments as the top dog of All In? It's been an unbelievable year.
Fuck. There's been a few. I think the first one was Black Friday. Like I think that made me realise, holy shit, like, I've got something here. Like it gives me goosebumps thinking about it. Like there was never a launch. Like I won't talk numbers, but there was never a launch really where I was literally sat at the laptop and I was like close to tears as to like
Really?
how well it went. Like it was insane. Like I got an Airbnb in Manchester. I was like, right, I just want to kind of like distract myself. I don't really want to look at the website. I get super stressed out and anxious towards like reviewing the numbers. I'm very, very hard on it. And I think that weekend was the first weekend I was like, right, I'm just going to watch it for the first 30 minutes. I'm going to go about my day. And I watched it for the first 30 minutes and it was like all-time traffic, all-time sales in the first, like, it would beat every single number we'd ever done in 5 minutes. And I just sat there and I just went, what the fuck is this? Like, this is real now. Like, this is actually real. And I think that feeling of just like, shit, I got something here. That was a real standout.
It's probably the reassurance that you needed.
Yeah, definitely. For anyone who doesn't know, like, everyone who doesn't know me personally, I'm like, my like emotion on this journey is like this. It's constant up downs, and there's never really any consistency in it. And I think it's tricky to manage. You go through like a lot of shit, and then every now and then you get this glimmer of hope that it's going to go to where it needs to be. Again, I work like stupid hours all month just for this one day, and then that one day happens and it's straight back into the shit again. And I think that is also like every launch has its special moment. Every launch has its bit where I'm like, yeah, that was cool, or like that was exciting about that launch, or I love this product, or whatever it is. But yeah, Black Friday was definitely the one that made me realise it's real.
Do you get like major like imposter syndrome?
Oh, bro, like I've never felt anything like it. Even now, like I don't like sat here talking about it. Like I feel like I've come across like very like confident in it and assured of it, but like it's still so young and it's still in such an infancy. And if I really kind of like, it's only when I really sit back and look at it from like an outsider's perspective and try not to look at it with my point of view, that I actually understand how cool it can be. And
it's the same with like all of us as well though. Like even like when you won your overall, like pro card, everything, like what we've all done and accomplished within bodybuilding, like you don't realise until you actually take a step back. And I was saying that on the podcast
Yeah.
I was on. I was in the gym and I just nearly started crying
Yeah.
because it was like
It hits you.
I only
Yeah.
realised because like Finn was saying to me when he sent over like the first check-in of prep, it was like, right, I want you to be like thinking I could have a chance here at a British title.
Yeah.
And I put the laptop down and ran into the kitchen. I was like, Mum, Dad, Mum.
Yeah.
Finn thinks I might be able to win a
Mate.
British Championship. Then I'd done it, and it was like, because that was like 4th show of the season, I'd won the ones before that, I literally didn't think of it at all.
You don't?
I was like,
Yeah.
alright, yeah, thank God that
Yeah.
secured that. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter that I won it as long as I just got it. And I keep this kind of, oh, he wins everything, so I just keep that up, and as long as I don't lose anything, that's fine, but that's all I want. And like, I was just like, yep, there we go, British title. But then I done that, and then I won the European one, like the Romanian one, the Universe, and then it was like a week out before Olympia, and I was like, I'm going to Vegas
Yeah.
for bodybuilding. I've done all this, and I actually hit it, and I was like, oh my god, yeah. And I was like nearly crying in the gym, and it was like, it's only when you actually take a minute to look back you see it. But as you said as well, like, it's extremely hard to do that when you are on the ball all the time. You physically do not have like time to let off at all, and you're always
Process.
yeah, exactly, because you're working towards the next thing, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So
I think
it's hard.
I think that element. Sorry, Josh, but I think that element of like progression is a tricky one to manage. Like, imposter syndrome comes very quick, especially when you are making progress on something, again, like competitive or business or school or whatever. Like, it's very quick to be like, why don't I deserve this? Like, or why is this happening? Or like not believing that it's actually come to fruition. But I do think if you are getting that, you're in the right spot. Like,
Oh, it's a good thing, 100%.
yeah, and that
Taking yourself out of your comfort zone as well,
Yeah,
pushing
like-
yourself constantly.
Going into unknown territory, and that's good.
Like, I haven't been comfortable for months, like year almost, like legit. Like every single month, there's been something where I'm like, holy shit, this is big. Or like, whether it was even like sponsoring the podcast initially, I was like, I just said to you earlier, didn't I? I was like, this actually ties me into this. Like, I have to do this now. And it was probably the same for you boys. And again, like now I started bringing more people into shoots, and it's true though, isn't it?
I remember because we only just started the podcast and already you'd approached us, and we were like,
shit.
"Holy shit! Oh, God. No pressure." Yeah, but that's what it's all about, man. You know,
100%. And I feel like if I work best when I'm working through a list and I'm ticking things off.
Yeah.
diamonds are made under pressure.
Yeah, they are. Like, if I don't have a to-do list, this is, again, it's a small piece of advice if I can give anyone anything. Like, you need that to-do list, you need that overarching goal. All in, up until this year, did not have targets or projections and structure or anything. I literally worked month to month and just like churned out a design at the start of the month, got the sample in, it'd go straight into shooting and it'd be out that Friday. Like, there was no time to even think. And from the start of this year, January, like, it's calculated, there's goals, there's targets, like, and that just makes it even better because I love the satisfaction of like ticking that target off. Like,
Yeah.
we've hit Q1 already and we're in February, like, and that again just like, it's another thing, isn't it? It's like another string to your bow, like another stack to that bit of evidence of just like, I can fucking do this, like, and that is so essential.
Well, I feel like a lot of people don't start things because they think they have to start it perfectly, but I think like sometimes just fucking around and finding out is the best
Just
way
start,
to do it.
yeah.
It's like
What you've done with
like
this
just
podcast as well.
Reddit was like, but where do I start? It's like, just go in the gym and just train, just have fun, just like fuck up, make mistakes and find out. You know?
Training.
But anyone's seen that grid, that like graph, of where like if you start now
fuck
compared to
around
like
and
if you
find out.
like you start like when
yeah.
you're ready, you're already way ahead of like where you would start. So
There's so much that can be obviously spoken about, and I think a dangerous thing is like you get a lot of like dopamine and like a small hit of feel good by talking about your goals and telling people, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, like later this year I'm going here, or I'm gonna win this show, or I'm gonna do this with my career. And it is a dangerous loop of like talking about it, and I think that's why I'm so glad I didn't talk to anyone before I dropped all in. I just went away. When I came back from Australia, I was like, right, I've got two choices here. I either go after this or I just fall back into the same routine I was in before. And I think that was the perfect opportunity for me to just like not talk to anyone, do this thing,
Monk mode.
monk mode, do a launch and just see how it goes. And from the first one I knew like, yeah, I'm hooked on this. Like,
do you get nervous like before a launch coming up?
launch, shoot, expo,
Really?
every
The
day.
expo's the big one, right?
Yeah.
The expo's going to be the big one.
Yeah. So this was filmed before the
The announcement. So we can talk about it.
We've not said what it was.
Nah, leave it.
Yeah,
leave
yeah.
it. You have to wait.
It's one of those where like I don't know how it's going to do yet, so I don't want to talk about it. Like I'll wait until it's done its thing and then I'll talk about it. But we've got a pop-up shop coming up. Oh yeah, shit, that's going to
It'll be on Sunday.
It'll be on Sunday, yeah. So for this Sunday, anyone who's bouncing around in like the Derbyshire area in the Midlands, Be Modified. I'm sure you've all heard of it. We're going to be hosting a pop-up shop, 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. Or 10:30 until 4. Come down. We've got all of the best sellers that we've ever sold, plus loads of additional stuff, plus the one-year collection that we're all wearing now.
And Josh C. Fitz is going to be making an appearance, so you can meet your favourite natural bodybuilder.
We should charge on the door, mate.
Yeah, just for photos.
Close, mate. It's all about admission for him.
That's how Sam's going to make his money. You want a photo with Josh? Do you want his underwear on? No, weirdos.
Or just have like loads of socks that you can sell, mate. They'll fly.
All
Yeah.
the Instagram DMs, all those guys can.
Yeah, that will be
How
there.
much for your socks, bro?
But mate, you were thinking about ideas for socks, mate. Just get him to wear them.
Fly out.
Yeah.
Bestseller.
One for a leg session.
There you go. I think the pop-up will be good, and I think like again for anyone who hasn't heard about it, we'll be doing like giveaways and stuff. Again, it's an opportunity to meet all of us lot, but also like you're going to be in a building surrounded by other people who are like in a similar boat to you,
Sharing
like,
the same message.
Yeah, sharing the same
thing.
message,
Yeah.
saying
I
the same
feel
thing.
like bodybuilding though also, not to get all like fucking deep and mysterious and shit, but like it can be like quite a lonely sport in general. Like you end up not like socialising with your mates that you went to school with, you went to uni with quite as much because they just drink and that's all they do and your only opportunity to see them.
Yeah.
I hate those guys.
He says with his rattlers.
It's just, he keeps whispering to me, I quite like this. It's better than whippist.
But no, it's like it's hard to kind of stay within that friend group and then you don't know anyone else outside of that because that's who you've grown up with, and it's like, oh fuck, I don't actually have that many friends because I'm pursuing this goal. So actually meeting people, and again like with like all in itself, like being able to see people that wear that, then you follow them and then you might get a chance to them. It's like when you see someone in the gym, like you'll nod at them one time, the next time you fist bump, and the next time you actually start talking because you realise that you're like, oh, he trains well, so I'm gonna start speaking to him.
Yeah, so everyone in bodybuilding has that like realisation.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't have as many friends as I thought because like,
But
I've left.
then you start
I left them
making
behind.
friends
So
through the gym, like people that you feel like you can actually like relate to and get along with in the
100%.
gym that train well, that have the same goals as you. That's when you make those there. So
Yeah, that's it. Anyone that like you see wearing all in, you will have something in common with them. So this is your community now.
Yeah.
So
Welcome.
come on Sunday. Yeah, you're welcome.
it does actually feel like the British Bodybuilding Club.
Yeah,
So-
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
This is
But the cool kids, not
Yeah.
not the non-cool kids. You know.
we're not shouting and grunting at each other. We just like have a laugh and drink beers on a Wednesday.
we don't even bodybuild. We
Yeah.
just drink every night.
You should say beer club.
Basically, if you don't want to identify as a Gymshark bench hogging gremlin, then
Yeah.
This is the way to go, mate.
Yeah, you're to the right place.
Some serious training.
Awesome. Right. So over the past year, then, what has been the most popular item of clothing sold?
The British Bodybuilding Club V2 stuff that we did. If I would have dropped that now, that would have been like.
Is that the January one?
So so the one that I did in. Oh God, this is going to be a hard time to remember.
I had
August.
the bold text in the script.
Yeah. August. It was 2 T-shirts and it says the British Bodybuilding Club, and then it has members exclusive. It has the R5 on it. It was the 5th drop that we did, and it has the date. By far the most popular item. If anyone has tried to buy that and can't get their hands on it, this Friday it will be releasing again in all of the colours that it didn't originally release it. That's a great plug. That's a great plug. So perfectly timed in. That is by far the best selling collection. Again, if I would have dropped that now for the first time, All In would be bloody going to the moon, mate. That's where it would be going, because that was by far like a standout collection as well. Like, we'd never done above 100 orders before that. Like, the most was like 50 orders at that point. That was the 5th collection that we did, and then out of nowhere it was like 250.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was, no one knew about it then.
Times 5.
Yeah.
Very casual.
Yeah, it had like 100. We had like maybe like 500, 600 followers at that point. Like and it got 250 orders.
That's awesome.
Mate, imagine being you at that moment, just like, oh shit,
yeah.
what's happened?
And then Black Friday, and because we brought it back, it did just that again. It was insane, man. Really, really cool.
Brilliant.
But yeah, by far that. Then second up, you've probably got like this colour, the colour hoodie. It's got all in no, it's. What is it? Like it's called New Quality Standard. It's got like a badge in the middle of it and a big one on the back. It's a hoodie that colour. That's the third best selling item by like far. That's very, very popular.
I really like all in studio stuff as well.
Oh, the latest one.
I was just so
nice.
it was just like minimalistic. And that's what I was going to say earlier on as well when you're talking about like choosing the name and stuff. Like all in, it's just like just minimalistic and cool and it's like simple. And like I feel like that does well within like just fashion itself. It's just like it just looks nice and satisfying, doesn't it?
Do you know something? I fucking hate designing it. I hate those three letters. It's only three letters there. If you actually think about it, it's an A, an L, an I, and an M. It is so hard to.
When you look at it for too long, though, that's when it starts to frazzle your brain. When you glance at it, it's like, that's pretty clean.
Yeah.
When you're looking at the letters and how they're spaced,
it's very hard to design.
It's like looking at a training program over and over and over again. You look at it, you go, this
starts to look shit, doesn't it?
This is missing something. It's like, no, you just looked at it for 1,000 times.
Have I always done 2 sets of lat pull down, or is that just where's that 4th set gone? Yeah, it's one of those. Looking at it is tough, but you get there. You do.
Nice. What's the plan over the next? Well, you can tell us over the next 6 months, 12 months, whatever.
What do you want? 6 or 12?
6. Get people excited. You can see 6 months ahead.
So we're heading. What are we now? What month are we in?
End of Feb.
I didn't know.
End of February.
It's March. No,
March.
It's March, guys.
March.
It's March.
April, May, June, July, August. Should we do 7 months? Because I think that's quite.
Oh, okay.
So in the next 7 months, we've obviously got summer coming up, so that'll just be. We'll be moving away from kind of like. We'll still be doing them. So for everyone who loves them and wants them, hoodies will still be here. We'll just be tapering down on the amount that we drop per month. So essentially, right now we do like 1-2 hoodies, a pullover. Like there's a lot of like outerwear that we drop each month. And as we move closer towards summer, we'll be introducing less hoodies, more things like shorts, t-shirts, vests. Got some really nice samples of vests that will be dropping in April. Again, always keeping the same kind of philosophy of quality. But in terms of kind of our plans going forward, I believe we'll have 2 expos. At that point, we'll have done 3 expos by then.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, 3 expos in the next 3 months. So the 2 PCA ones and then the secret one.
Yeah, the secret one. I thought you were going to drop it then. I'm going to go, shut up.
No. The 2 PCAs and then the secret one. And then I basically need to work out where we are in the market at that point. I spoke to the lads earlier today, and I think that by that point I'll be wanting to kind of take things out of the UK. The brand can only grow so big in England, and I know that's kind of a point, and I know that we're nowhere near it. What? Scotland, sorry. The UK. Thank you. I apologise.
I'm not taking that.
The brand can only grow so big, and I know that it's still got a lot of room to grow. Like a lot. You look at brands like Chosen Few, Gymshark, etc. Like the market is huge, but in terms of like people who are really into bodybuilding and really want that like premium quality, the market probably isn't as big as these other big brands. So I think by September time we'll be looking to do probably a shoot abroad. I'm not going to probably say where, but by September the boys will be doing a shoot abroad
in Scotland.
Yeah, we'll be leaving England and heading to Scotland. Maybe Wales if we get
the Welsh Island
outside of the UK.
Yeah, so we'll definitely be shooting abroad.
Collection.
If anyone, should we drop like a hint as to where that could be? How would you hint that?
Oh,
is it what we were discussing earlier?
Yeah.
It's a big city, very big.
It's massive.
It's enormous almost. The big city.
Never sleeps.
Yeah.
It's just constantly on Monster. It's like me today.
So yeah, that will be the next move. Expand it.
I feel like bodybuilding within Europe as well is pretty big.
Yeah.
I know you've got like a lot of kind of Europeanish clients, like Portuguese and stuff, and then like even people like Adam Powell, like I always see him like, posing like a lot of his clients
Spanish
Spanish
bodybuilding
as well,
community.
like
Italian.
bodybuilding,
Yeah.
because they actually end up being really into the UK bodybuilding scene.
Yeah.
I feel like UK bodybuilding is like really strong. Like once you get into the community, like the
We are
standards
top
of training,
dogs.
like
We are.
I'll get a lot of like kind of Spanish guys like messaging me being like, oh, I love your training style, you, Adam, AJ, stuff like that. And it's like they really do enjoy it and like they get really involved within it. And I've got a couple of American clients as well, and they are really invested in it. They like talk to me about someone that I think is like not really like too well known within the UK bodybuilding scene. Like, how do you even know
Yeah,
that?
the
It's
UK.
like as if they are in the UK.
Yeah, definitely has its own like training identity. So I feel like it does like resonate with a lot of like
Kind of
Europeans.
Dorian,
Yeah,
they train fucking
Bloody
hard.
yeah,
hard.
exactly. Yeah.
Top set back off, like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
resonates.
That's us, like it is, and
That's us physique boys.
Yeah. You know, that 3 leg days a week.
what's a leg day? Some of you will fucking love that. I know you will, Jesus. But yeah, I think we already have, like, I will say this, like the European orders are like pretty mad right now. I think like last month I did like 25 European orders, like which is a big step up from what we did before. And again, like a couple go to America, had 2 in Australia in the last 2 months. Or no, in the last month had 2 in Australia, Brisbane, and then Sydney.
I have a question.
Go on.
Sorry, raise my hand because you're talking. Will you keep
So
like
polite.
British bodybuilding in it as well because they want to be able
Yeah, I was
to, like-
wondering that. Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't want to narrow the demographic, do you?
So that's the thing though, like because they want to be associated with
I feel like that'd be
who
a good thing,
hardcore
yeah.
British
Yeah.
bodybuilding is. I don't know whether it would be good to actually keep that or not.
Well, when we go to this mystery location in September, the idea will be that we release a something bodybuilding club. That will be the idea.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
that's the idea that we've got, and we'll team up with obviously people who are already in that market and diversify it that way. But that's the idea that I have. Again, British bodybuilding has a great foundation. There's a lot of people who are interested in it, and there's a lot of people who, again, love Dorian and everything that it stands for. The blood and guts, like, perfect. But I think as the brand expands and as we kind of come into this like more modern era of bodybuilding, it's not necessarily about like just hardcore. Like,
Yeah.
none of us are particularly hardcore. Like,
No.
no. So it's like.
Only Josh.
Go on.
Yeah, so none of us are
Start
particularly.
barking before my next sip.
He's had 1 Rattlers and he's kicking off already.
Yeah, so I think that's definitely a narrative that will slowly come down as we expand.
Yeah.
But again, it's the club. Like that's what people love. People love being a part of a club, and wherever that club is based, I think even if we did a bodybuilding club, I think people in the UK would still buy it.
Oh, yeah.
because
100%.
it's not just about the brand anymore. It's about what it stands for and the quality and everything that comes behind it. And by the time it comes to September, mate, like it will be 3 times what it is now. And I think that's the idea. We'll be that big by September.
You've already got loads of like brand loyalty anyway. So.
Brand loyalty is insane. Anyone who fucking recurringly buys my stuff, I really appreciate it. Like our recurring customer rate is like 60%, which is mental. Like it's one of the best statistics that we have, and
That is
yeah,
amazing.
like and that is something that again I cannot thank the people who initially buy into the brand, because it is nerve-wracking. We're a small brand. The shipping times are long. I'm trying to improve it. I am, but like for me right now, the priority is keeping the quality the same and keeping the intimate touches the same, the handwritten card. Obviously, I touch every single order that goes out, and I think that the longer I keep that way, the longer the brand will kind of continue to climb. I think as soon as we go external, it's just going to slow things down. So, again, it will get there. Like things will get better. But those of you who always come back, like, I really do appreciate it, because that is what keeps the brand brand alive for sure.
You do put it on every single order, like, thank you for investing.
Yeah.
Like, you're not just investing in, or you're not just buying something for now, you're investing for something in the future.
Yeah.
Like, this community is only going to get bigger, it's only going to get better. It is amazing. I've had goose pimples, like, since we started talking.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I can't believe, like, that we were the first on board.
Yeah.
Why
It's
us, mate?
wild.
What's wrong with
The
you?
boys made the BSB, you can't turn it down. I think as well, like as the brand develops, like the community aspect will increase. Like I've already had ideas about creating like exclusives that people can like join, like a members club, for example, that will offer. This is like a great opportunity to talk about it. So the one thing that I wanted to do this year to kind of diversify how the brand works is create like a members portal that people pay like a subscription for. It'd be like $5.99, and essentially people come in, they get access to exclusive discounts, they get access to exclusive items, they see behind the scenes, they get one-on-one time with, say, like athletes, for example. If we do like ticket sales, that they'll get first dibs, they get early access into pre-orders so things don't sell out. Like they have like a real tight knit into this community, which also gives them an opportunity to be connected with like-minded individuals, and I think that is probably one of the big next steps. I just need to work out the logistics of it, but I think that will
and
definitely...
doing it in such a unique, authentic way.
Yeah, it's a members club essentially, but you want it to be reflective of the brand and everything the brand stands for, and I think like obviously the high quality is at the forefront of that, so it would have to be something insane. But it will come. It will come. I just need to bash my head about
One
it.
thing at a time, mate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Slow down. Joking,
Never slow down. Never
Slowing down.
Don't slow down.
Not until it breaks.
Right, so we've got a few questions.
Oh, here we go. This is for the
fun
mate,
part.
if it's anything from our guys, I know what it is.
Yeah.
It's just going to be.
There's one question that I'm going to save until the absolute end of this podcast.
Who's it for? Who's it from?
It's from, and if you're an OG, it's from Talbot Balf. And we're not impressed, Talbot. You really, really are pushing it, mate. I am going to block you on every single social media platform. But yes, we have some questions. So, Mr. Jasper B.Fit has asked, massive question this. Fight to the death between the current All-In team, who's winning? So
we spoke about this briefly in the lift.
Yeah.
We were kind of deliberating who would be the hardest to take down. We agreed Dom would be the biggest threat, but his cardiovascular system.
There was a caveat. There was a caveat to that.
His cardiovascular system.
I'll gas out too quick.
We're all strong.
It would be a horrible fight.
It would be awful. I will be going for eyes.
I'd punch Josh in the stomach because I know it's his weakness.
Yeah.
And he just shit himself.
I don't think I would win. I'll put that out there. I don't think I'd be
You're the
last man
tallest out
standing.
of all of us by a good bit. We're all relatively
That's just
short.
more to attack, mate. That's
I think
the.
your
you've
kicker's
got the
quite
target.
You look like a kicker.
What's it called? The
range.
The reach advantage.
You look like a good
Front
flick
kick.
I was
kick.
going to say I'm nimble, but I'm getting far. Last one.
But I've thought about it long and hard now. I think you'd be the first to die, mate. Yeah. I actually think we'd all gang up on you.
Weakest link.
Get rid of the natty-o.
Well, you're young. You're the youngest, so we don't really want you to see that horrible scene.
Yeah.
So if we
Well,
just gang up on him first and sort him out,
Yeah.
True.
get
It's
him
like-
out.
I've got the most life to live though. So like,
You've also lived the least though, so we're taking like the least off you. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if we kill
We've
Dom, for
made-
example,
So many ways to look at
We've
it.
all got, mate, we've all got like deeper relationships with people. We've spent more time, like we've got
I'd
more.
just be the first one bang.
Yeah.
See you later, Josh.
Yeah.
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 And then I feel like Dom would end up like choking me out, and then once Dom's fatigued, Tom will just come in and like a really weird punch, but like a southerner's punch.
It'd be enough.
In your fatigued state, you just
Yeah,
you
that's
take
it.
you clean out, and then
Yeah.
do
there you
that.
are. Tom's been crowned the champion.
Yes.
I'll take
I think the southerner would win with his.
It's just that farmer strength, you know.
Yeah.
That's it.
Farmer. Jesus.
Right. What more gold have we got, mate?
Ollie Greaves Fitness has asked, when am I getting a promo code?
Never, Ollie. You're never ever getting a promo code.
No. Let's set some variables that he's got to tick off to get a promo code.
So what do you look for in someone?
There's no specific metric. People are going to hate me that I say this because I'm sure like some people, the amount of messages I get about sponsorship, like some people will be like, oh, why don't you just tell us what you want? There's no set answer. Look at us all. We're completely different. Like the only thing that's kind of ties us all together is like we're all right. We can get on with each other, and I feel like there's a lot of potential with everyone here, like myself excluded, in terms of bodybuilding, in terms of kind of like socials and all of that avenue. Like everyone here has got a bag of potential, like a bag of it, and I think that's the main thing for sure.
Hand us up again. But
Josh is taking a quick trip back to school.
Yeah, no, I'm really.
He's only just come out, to be fair.
I'm fulfilling the role of the younger one here. But I feel like if you need to ask for a sponsorship, you probably
Yeah.
like it should come naturally. You can
Yeah.
see. I think a big thing as well is like showing personality and even,
100%.
like if you know them in person, obviously you can tell that. But like if not, if you're not kind of living near them or around them showing personality, you can tell that they're not a dick.
Yeah.
Like in person is
So-
something that's huge.
Does someone align with the brand image?
Yeah.
Like, are they dedicated to what they do? Are they passionate about what they do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is that simple, to be honest. And I think, as Josh just said, like if you are reaching out to me for a sponsorship, it's probably not going to happen either way because like none of these lads have, well, apart from the
Apart from us.
But Josh was one of the
Yeah,
Josh was the very first person that I met outside of like my initial circle to bodybuilding. So like basically I went to Rotherham one day, was introduced to Josh, and I was like, why is this bloke so happy all of the time? Like there's something clearly wrong with him, a screw loose or two.
I saw the monster.
Yeah. And then I went and competed at the UKBFBA finals, and you spoke to my mum. I don't know if you remember this, but you spoke to my mum and basically hyped me up to my mum after I'd just won the British finals and said like,
That's it.
yeah, and my mum remembers it. Like, she said it to me.
I remember it.
Yeah, so like she said like, oh, like this northern lad came up to me and said all this stuff. I was like, I know who that is.
And he was being dead flirty as well.
He asked for my number and all sorts.
I'm going out for dinner with him tomorrow night. I hope it's okay. It's fine, I'll sponsor him in 4 years' time.
Yeah. And obviously, if Josh gets on with Tom, then Tom's probably a safe bet.
There we go.
And then obviously as my circle expands, I met Dom at the PCA Expo. So Dom came and bought something off me first. Yeah. Again, one thing I look at is like people who have initially invested in the brand. If you've never bought anything from me and you DM me on Instagram without following the account and go, hey bro, sponsorship please, 2 t-shirts, it's probably going to be a no. But when you've bought something and you come and see me in person and we talk about the brand and I understand your kind of reasoning as to why you've bought it and all these other things.
I think like from my perspective, like when you offered me the sponsorship, it was like I kind of knew it was because I was talking about the brand, and that wasn't because I was trying to get sponsorship. It's just because I thought this clothing's sick and like people need to know about it. Like I couldn't believe the quality and just how cool it is, and, like and how stylish the clothes are. So I was just like genuinely speaking about it, and then obviously that came off the back of it. So
yeah, Dom has been the face of my brand for the past like what? 2 months? Well, when was this? Yeah, 2 months. Like Dom has literally been like the front cover for every single photo.
probably bored of seeing me now.
Yeah, probably bored of seeing him. Yeah. But he never.
He's beautiful.
Yeah.
If you can't pick it up because we're recording in 1080p, Dom is gorgeous.
Dom is like just a super jacked Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
That's goals.
I've looked at probably over 2,000 photos of Dom by the time. Like legit 2,000. No, yeah. It's not something I do in my spare time.
I think that sounded better in your head.
Yeah. But like through all the media that I've like filtered through for All In, I've seen 2,000 photos of Dom and he's never looked bad in one. So I thought, you know what, this is a safe bet. This geezer's good looking and he might do a couple of things this year in the bodybuilding scene. We'll have to break it down. But again, that's another exciting thing.
Also,
again,
anyone that hasn't seen Dom's fucking physique as well, go check out.
Josh has also looked at 2,000 photos.
It's got like a shared Google Drive of Dom's dick or something.
A monthly subscription.
They chat to each other. They send each other posts. Have you seen this one?
But yeah, again, another like back to kind of the initial question of like sponsorship is like it's that potential. Like Dom has like a very bright future ahead of him, especially this year. It'll be exciting to see it unfold. And like again, if you want a sponsorship, don't DM me. Just produce good content, be yourself, be a cool, relatable person. I think that's one of the main things. Like we're all sat here drinking beers on a Wednesday night. Like we're pretty relatable. And then also like if you have that initial investment, that's the best bit. Like that genuinely is the best bit because that's what I really kind of prioritise. If you love the brand before you ask for anything, amazing, perfect. Sorry, Ollie, you're not getting a sponsorship anytime soon.
But if you've become everything that
if you become
Dan
everything I've said,
then it's all good. Who is the strongest in the All-In team? That is from Bailey_Doggette.
Doggette.
Or Doggett?
Bailey Doggett.
Bailey Doggette.
Doggette. Depends what movement.
I was gonna say Dan's taking hinges.
Yeah, easy.
Dom pressing probably maybe.
possibly.
Am I going to take
I,
anything?
yeah, I'm going to say I can't wait to find out what
I
I'm
take
taking.
absolutely nothing.
I'm taking calf raisers.
I'll take a doctor's actually. I'm freakishly strong at doctors, and that's all I've got.
I'll take a single arm done by Preacher Girl.
To be fair, I watched Tom fucking Preacher Colour 22 and a half earlier. Like,
Mate,
that is
27,
Mate,
that's
27
That is
It
mate.
used,
What?
it used to be, yeah, weren't it like nearly 30? Mad.
That is,
Nearly.
that is, actually,
mad,
that is
yeah.
mad.
That's strong.
The most I've ever done is like an 18.
Is it?
I felt my bicep was going to ping off.
Back off set, bro.
Built different.
Jesus, that's why it's sponsored and you own the brand.
Yeah. I'm just the backseat driver at this point. I live through these guys.
I'd say as well, strongest on social media has to be Josh
Yeah.
Campbell, you know,
Cool.
kind of famous. What else we got? Will All In ever branch out into restocking, like, you know, just keeping regular stock of specific items, or is it going to be like one-offs every month?
It will never ever have consistent stock. I think the reason this brand has succeeded so well so far is the fact that you know you're not always going to be able to get it. The exclusivity of it, I think, is a massive driver to the reason that it succeeds. At some point, I would love to hold stock, but it won't always be available on the website just because, again, if it's always there, doesn't matter how many units we're selling, it kind of just, it loses that element of
Yeah.
where is it, the want for it, and again, like we sell things out quick because people are so keen to buy it. Like,
Yeah, and they're like, oh, if I don't get this right now.
Yeah, if I don't get this right
People
now.
are setting alarms
Really
and
yeah,
stuff.
like
Yeah.
alarms, yeah. People set like, when I add the timer on the story, like I get probably like 100 people a month now click into it to see like where it's at. So
That is just mad.
yeah, 100 people. Like I posted a story. Well, this is a while ago now. If we reference when I filmed this, but I posted a story at the back end of Feb, and it was a photo of a grey hoodie that's coming up in this Mark collection. I got 150 likes on a hoodie, a photo of a hoodie
Jeez.
of a story. Like that just goes to show how like
That's brave.
yeah, how like just of a hoodie, like nothing even special. Josh C Fit probably gets that on his rear glute spread, but for me,
Try double that.
yeah. But for me,
Wait
I
until you see George's YouTube video, Josh Goggins YouTube video.
Yeah.
You see
yeah.
a beer bottom.
The video will be going live.
Viral, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep your eyes peeled.
There's some exclusive content coming
yes.
tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So watch it.
But no, we won't ever stock things full time. I think there'll always be stock in the warehouse. Like there's always some pieces of stock in the warehouse, but it's again, if it's always there, you're never going to want it as bad as you do if it's not. And I think that's the bit we need to stay with for now.
Right, we're going
It's
back.
an exclusive members club.
Yeah, it's exclusive, man. If you're not getting these one-offs, then you're never going to get them again. I think that's the best way to run things.
Right. Josh's massive following.
You got a few?
Yeah, I put it up a lot later than both of yous, or all of yous, sorry. I've got a few questions. I've put, someone
That's an
said,
important one, that one.
yeah, what Josh is more handsome?
We've got 3 people. Decide.
I depends what.
Right now, I would admittedly say Josh Goggins, and that's not me even bigging him up, I would genuinely
I would say Josh Campbell.
Humble.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Humble guys.
Seen his rear glutes, bro.
maybe as I was
1
like,
week out.
transitioning,
Yeah,
maybe when I was transitioning into like getting leaner, like maybe. But
Oh.
now I hold a good bit of fat around the face.
You
I'm
look
still
quite
kinda-
scary when you lean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get proper
Yeah.
skeletal.
Bro, I
face.
looked at a photo of you the other day when you were like peeled, and I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Crogsy,
Fucked, innit?
you are scary, mate.
Imagine waking up next to that every morning. Annabella, thank you. Thank you. Did you scare me? Oh, God.
Look in the mirror.
Waking up
Holy
next
shit.
to Tutankhamun coming out of sarcophagus.
Yeah, literally.
Dust coming out your mouth.
Oh, like Prince Philip now.
Poor guy.
You're both handsome in your own ways.
I've been cancelled again for fuck's sake.
Might have to bleep that bit out.
Nah, definitely not.
That's brilliant.
Definitely not.
Yeah, so what's your conclusions?
Right
Right now.
What's this?
What's
Pressure.
the conclusion?
I would say,
Jamie, be
from my
honest,
unbiased opinion, I'm a big fan of Mr. Problem.
Yeah.
I always have been.
But you've still got baby face.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
You're gonna mature. You're gonna.
Yeah.
There's
You
still
know?
time.
23, mate, you'll be absolutely.
One
you'll be
day you'll have
dangerous.
a jawline just as.
Just think, when you're my age, I'll be like nearly 40.
Yeah, you'll be dried out.
Oh my God, I'm depressed.
That's a
I
horrible
am
thought.
depressed.
That's a horrible thought.
I would take that. I'll happily.
I probably
take that.
will be 40.
Oh my god.
God.
Next one.
I am will still be
Yeah,
recording
move on.
podcast. Yeah,
Yeah.
next.
Move on.
Toes for fingers or fingers for toes?
Both mine are the same.
Oh well, easily fingers for toes.
Fingers for toes.
Yeah.
Grab
yeah,
the
yeah,
toes.
yeah. I can't grab anything.
You have to curl them up.
Imagine
Yeah.
that. I
Imagine
mean,
getting your
fingers.
Let me
like,
slide.
imagine going on holiday
Your
or
feet
something.
would be
You just wear socks.
Your feet would be mega.
Yeah.
Imagine doing a
Like,
hamstring
like-
curl with
Mate,
a
how
dumbbell.
are you gonna RDL with toes on your hands? You just go from like 260 down to like 10 to the bar. If you're lucky.
Yeah, you can't do anything.
I'm trying to pick your nose. Break your nose every time. Oh fuck! I've done it again.
How would you
Extra grip.
How would you shake a shaker?
Oh, fucking hell.
A shaker, yeah, definitely that. No, the other thing that
This kid, he's so naive.
Oh, bless him.
other ones that I've got. One at the top here, I want to talk about this actually. How does one become the shadow? So I put a reel up, 2-3 days ago. Yeah, about Dorian's audio about him being the shadow. Not posting anything and coming and beating everyone and doing all this and that. And I put a video of me up of it. And
Just not being a shadow.
I'm literally the
Yeah.
complete opposite of the shadow. Like
What would you say?
I'm
What's the
light.
opposite? Yeah, the light,
Yeah,
the highlight.
There we
But I
go.
thought it was
The
just
highlight,
like a
yeah.
cool thing because it was like you come in and you beat everyone, and I was like, that's gonna fit in and put that there. But no, I'm getting wins for it.
Yeah. You do not become the shadow. You are born the shadow, mate. You are.
It's like, how do you become an all-in athlete? You don't. You just
Exactly.
are one.
Yeah.
Without
You
sponsorship.
One day you
can't
just wake
force
up.
Yeah.
Final, or maybe one or two more. During your entire season, who were some of the best bodybuilders you were on stage with? So we can do this for all of us.
Oh.
Myself, best bodybuilders I was on stage with. Richard Marks. Won the UKDIP finals.
That is
Like,
one of the craziest natural physiques
Oh,
I've actually
yeah,
ever seen.
absolutely
Like
ridiculous.
that is borderline.
That's his first season.
I
Yeah.
was in.
Absurd, mate. 9 kilos lost in his prep, and like
Yeah,
Adam,
like-
if Adam sees this as well, like fair play, Adam. That is a
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's unreal.
Glutes
there was
peeled,
no,
yeah.
There was no fat. It was just like skin. You could like pull the skin. There was nothing there.
I met
Absolutely
him.
nothing.
I met him in bloody the gym group. I think it was like 2022.
where all the greats train.
Mate, that gym in particular was wild.
It's a shadow
One of my
train,
genuinely, one of my boys were prepping from there. Shout out Tam. Went and won his natural pro card, and I met him. I was like, mate, you need to compete.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I'm not that bothered. I was like,
You got
fuck
potential,
me.
mate. Yeah.
And he's gone on and become everything that, you know, a blind person could have seen. It's absolutely wild.
Next level.
Yeah,
Are we doing one each?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Richard for me quickly.
Yeah.
When I was in Romania doing the IMB Universe, he was there as well, staying in the same hotel. And I was just like the night before getting like a quick pump up and stuff, and I was like, just gonna take it easy, just get a nice pump. I looked over, 165, 170 on the bar, bent over, rowing it. Like literally
One day out?
bragging it about. Yeah, and I was like, mate, is that not like a little bit?
I bet Adam's fuming watching
Mate,
this.
Adam
I told him
knows
to
that.
chill.
Mate, Adam was saying like he literally like it's so funny when he trains with him, like he done a leg day with him like another few clients. He was like Richard just like puts like extra volume everywhere because he just fucking loves just having at it.
Yeah,
And
training.
it's like it's just nuts. Like he can't control himself when he's in the gym. Like he had 170 on him. I just looked over and he was like ragging it easily. Like it wasn't even difficult. And I'm like, you're one day out, and he just looked like so fucking fresh and everything on stage. But he was wild.
Yeah, that's mad.
Unbelievable
Scary.
physique.
Yeah.
Cross.
So last year,
Oh yeah, this is the one for you for sure.
There's got to be the mad guy who won the WNBA.
well,
World
there's
Championship
either him
overall.
or did you see the guy that was like 14'3" in
Summer shredding.
Summer Shredding?
Yeah.
But he weren't like he
But
weren't
he
the
wasn't
best physique.
good
He
for
was
men's
just
physique.
it
Yeah.
was just
Wild,
like
yeah.
like it was
The
wild
factor.
to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So him, or the guy that won the overall, South Korean guy called AKA.
It's just
or
like those
something.
kind of like Asianist genetics, so like that
Yeah.
bubbliness across the
Yeah.
top line and everything. It's just like you can't do much against
He
that.
he was 11 years older than me as well.
Fuck
So it's
yeah.
like you know.
Maturity.
That maturity, like, he's competed probably 40 times previously. Yeah, this is like same age as my granddad. I'm joking. If you want to come on the podcast, feel free. You know, we'd love to have you on. But yeah, he were unbelievable.
Probably just, well, the guy that beat me at British Finals, Jay Macker.
Yeah.
He was good.
Very good.
JD model, handsome. When you're talking men's physique, like it's more than just.
I'm gonna search.
It's
him
more
up,
than
so
just the
I
physique.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, your persona, how you come across, and he's like a JD model.
Yeah.
He was like 3 inches taller than me, and had a
Tiny,
sick physique.
tiny waist.
Yeah, yeah. So definitely Jay Macker.
Jay Macker.
He's done well.
Just Jay.
He's one of McElroy's clients, I'm pretty sure. posing
No,
clients.
He works with Zach, and he's done some posing with.
No, mate. His Insta's blown up.
How many followers you got now?
91k.
Whoa.
Really?
JD, he's sponsored by Gymshark. He's going to come on the podcast one time because I've got it in writing that he's promised me.
I call him
so-
I call him Megatron.
Yeah.
Like Megatron.
Holy
Shout out Megatron.
shit.
Yeah. No, he's a good. Yeah.
Yeah, that is crazy.
So for me, for me to stand next
That's
to
crazy.
him and not look out of place, I was like, okay,
I can do this.
yeah.
Very mad.
But yeah, he was wicked.
Just go in general for your competing, Dan.
He doesn't do physique anymore, but Aaron Carpenter.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like you have a unbelievable amount of potential, mate. Like an unbelievable amount.
Did he do physique?
He did physique, mate, when I did.
I only know him as
Dan beat him.
I don't know how, but I beat him, mate. So,
waist.
mate, he's just
Your shape though, mate.
Yeah, no, everything about Aaron. Like,
Wasted like that bottom.
I remember on the lead up to that show, everyone was like, Bridgman, like he was coached by Bridgman at the time, and everyone was saying like new Natty King and this, that, and the other about Aaron. Like, to be honest, I believed it as well. Like, unbelievable physique, one of the best athletes I've ever seen in person. And again, like, mate, now you've moved to classic, even better.
He's
Yeah.
on. He's
No,
on
but
top
mate.
here now, and he's stupid. Like you see the
Yeah,
progression.
stupid.
The progression
Mate,
on
you were the
mate.
shadow.
I was the shadow.
You was the shadow that
Yeah.
year.
You're the real shadow.
No one knew.
Everyone knew that year as well. Everyone that came second probably maybe should have won.
Is that handsome bastard over there? Eh?
Came second to that's
Not bad, mate.
that's the big dog.
Mm-hmm.
I came second to Bobby Fotheringham, who's
Oh yeah.
another old geezer.
Yeah.
What this season?
Judges don't like me going against
Nah.
someone that's older,
Oh, I thought you were gonna say old.
Older.
old.
Dom.
For me, it'd probably be Joe Richardson. So we went head to head in 2021, and I actually thought I had that show because I was set the stage for the whole time, and then like, I'll admit I was expecting like my name to be called out as first, and it wasn't. It was second, but like seeing like Joe's physique, I was like, yeah, fair play. Like he does look good. I knew it was going to be a battle between me and him, and we've kind of had this kind of unspoken like rivalry for
Yeah,
a
that's
while.
good.
They're the best.
Yeah, they are the
Yeah.
best.
Like we're boys, like we're good mates, but yeah, we know that when it comes to like going head to head next time, like I'm gonna have him. So
Hear that, Joe?
If you heard that, mate, if
Breakfast.
you're watching, you're getting done.
But yeah, no, he's good, and he was a worthy winner that day. So yeah, fair play.
Right, people, we are gonna wrap it up there because we've got 4% battery left on the camera. I honestly feel like we could probably speak
Yeah,
for like
we could have-
hours.
How long
This-
has it been?
This could have
An
been
hour.
Hour?
Yeah.
this,
Do you know what?
This could have been a 2-hour special. So if you want that,
We will do it again.
yeah,
We will do it again. Better production as well.
Yeah.
All right.
and we'll get Dom on the beers.
Yeah.
Imagine
I'll
that,
be on.
like in a year's time, it'll be 2 years. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, second birthday.
Yeah.
Mm.
Imagine how many people we're gonna have here.
Oh mate, it'll be mad. We won't have enough touch seats.
Yeah.
Imagine how many pros we'll have.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe like one more.
Yeah.
Joe Richardson.
But anyway, people, thank you very much for listening. If you want to use code BSB, definitely not Josh C, or
I don't know what my code will
Yeah,
be.
Dom K, yeah.
don't care. Okay, yeah, BSB, 100%.
Josh C.
But no, everyone, thank you very much for supporting the brand. I'm sure this man right here appreciates
Yeah.
it. There's so much more to come.
More than anything, like genuinely, if you have bought from the brand or you like a post or you share it, like it gives me goosebumps saying this, but this isn't a short-term thing. Like it really isn't. This is going to be 3-4 years down the line. This will be like the biggest brand in the whole of the UK. I can promise you that now. If I've got anything to do with it, it will be there. And again, these boys are going to be with me the whole way. So strap in. It's going to be a fucking good one.
Right, peace out.
It's a wrap.
Love you to bits.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.